Okay, so my experience with cancer started on January 22nd. It was really the first time in my life that I thought, oh my gosh, what if it's really bad and I'm gonna die? I went in for a mammogram that day. I had found a lump. I'm not old enough to get mammograms yet on a regular basis, but I called my doctor and I talked with her, and so she sent me in to get a mammogram. They wanted to do a biopsy, which I was able to get scheduled the next day. So on Wednesday I went in for the biopsy, and then on Thursday I got the call from the doctor telling me that it was cancer.
I remember the morning that Susie called me, and she'd sent me a text at first and told me to call her immediately. So my first initial thought was that she was quitting, and I panicked. And I said, oh my gosh, she can't quit. Like, this is not good. But then when I heard her voice, I could just tell there was something in her voice early that morning that was really wrong. It's so hard when it hits home with someone you care about so deeply. I remember thinking about her kids automatically.
A lot of my free time is spent with my family. I have a husband, Damon. I have a 9-year-old son, Braden, and a 6-year-old son, Dexter. Both of them do soccer, and all 4 of us do jiu-jitsu, which is really fun. I haven't done it in a little while, but I'm gonna go back. My husband and I got our blue belts, so we're really happy about that.
The way that she's handled herself, it just speaks volumes about how you approach life. She is a champion. You know, many people know that at 3 o'clock every day at the association office she runs.
And the running is my favorite cardio, but also it's kind of my me time. It's when I just don't really worry about anything else, stress reliever, that type of stuff.
At the very beginning, she told me cancer hates exercise. And throughout her entire journey, she continued to exercise. I thought that showed so much tenacity. I have so much respect for her honesty and her transparency to her kiddos, her ability to educate others along the way.
I think that something that people should know about breast cancer is that it's not necessarily genetic. It's not necessarily your lifestyle. Yes, sometimes there's a family history. Yes, sometimes there is something in your genes, but I have none of that. I don't have any family history. They did the genetic testing and I was negative. And I have a very healthy lifestyle. I enjoy ice cream, but I still overall eat really healthy and do a lot of things. So it's not always something that you can predict or prevent, and the healthiest person can get something like this. And I don't think people always think about that. We don't always take the time to just pay attention to ourselves, and I think it's super important to just make sure that if you notice that there's anything that seems wrong, that you do pay attention to it.
One thing that was really interesting to me is how the whole community at the Y, not just one department or one branch or her peers surrounded her, but truly the whole community came together and just rose up.
The wonderful thing about my community is I realized how large it was, I think, when this happened. You look for the good things that you can find even out of bad situations, and I knew that I had friends and I know that I have family, but I didn't realize how many people cared about me and how big the Susie community was until this happened.
You see different people walk through stages of cancer, and I think when the initial announcement is made, there's a tendency at times to acknowledge the person, to empathize, to be curious, and then the support goes away. And what I saw was something completely different.
The little things were really nice. Like, I think people think they need to do something big, but they don't. It's just knowing that you're there for the person that makes all the difference in the world. I think I got a lot better at accepting that help from other people and realizing that it's okay and we all need other people in our life.
Overall, I think of her as a warrior.
A few years ago, I kind of had started just wanting to do something new every year. One of the first things I did was I had always wanted to jump out of a plane and go skydiving, and I did that. So I've done that, and we started the jiu-jitsu, and I did my first half marathon. And so this year it was like that thing was just decided for me. The thing I was going to do this year was I was going to fight breast cancer and survive.